Good morning. I, Jagpreet Kaur, Assistant Professor of Pharmacy Department, today going to deliver a lecture on vaccine safety surveillance. So let's get started. First of all, before going deep into the topic, we should know certain definitions, basics like what is vaccine pharmacovigilance, what is vaccine reactions, what is surveillance, what is immunization safety. So first of all, what is vaccine? So vaccine is a biological substance that is administered to individual to bring out immunity against specific disease. Like in previous years, when COVID came into the existence, there were a vaccine called Covishield, which we used again COVID. So again, the next one is vaccine pharmacovigilance. This is divided into two parts: what is pharmacovigilance and what is vaccine. If we know the two terms, what is vaccine and what is pharmacovigilance, automatically we will get to know about the definition. So pharmacovigilance is the field of science that is related to detection, assessment, understanding and communication of adverse events. And vaccine, I already told that it is a biological substance that is like inserted into the individual to bring out the immunity. So this is vaccine pharmacovigilance. The third term is vaccine reaction. Obviously, when we take vaccine, there will be some reaction that will be exerted into the body. So that is called vaccine reaction. That reaction could be predictable and that could be unpredictable. So if we want to know the definition proper, so it is defined as the event that caused or precipitated by active component of vaccine. For example, preservatives or stabilizers. Next is surveillance. Surveillance in basic term, we know that to keep an eye on. So in pharmacovigilance, it is defined as a continuing systematic collection of data that are analyzed and disseminated to enable decision making and action to protect the health of the population or the health of the individual. Next one is immunization safety. Immunization, we know that, okay, to boost our immunity in the body. And immunization safety is how that immunization is safe for the health, for the body. So immunization safety is defined as the public health practices, policies dealing with the various details of correct administration of vaccine. For example, if I am going to the doctor and he or she prescribed me some vaccine and he gave me proper detailing of the vaccine that I need to take vaccine before that date, before meal it could be, okay. So I need to be very particular regarding the correct administration of the vaccine. Vaccine could be in the form of drops, it could be in the form of injection, parenterals also. So the correct administration of vaccine is utmost important. The last one is adverse event following immunization. This is also the major topic that I am going to cover in this section. Adverse event following immunization, like after immunization, what are the adverse events happening in the body? So this is called AEFI, adverse event following immunization. After these basic concepts, coming on to the topic, that is vaccine. Vaccine already I dictated. There are two types of vaccine. One is monovalent and the other one is multivalent. Monovalent itself denotes that single strain. So the vaccine in which the single strain is present is called monovalent, and the vaccine in which more than two antigens are present is called multivalent. And vaccine safety is a prime concern for public, the one to whom we are going to give the vaccine, and the second is manufacturer who is manufacturing the vaccine, and the third one is immunization provider to whom we are providing it. Next is, after getting to know what is vaccine, we should also know that what are the classification of vaccines. There are different types of vaccines, starting from attenuated live virus, Second, inactivated virus. Third, recombinant. Fourth, conjugate. Fifth, toxoid. And the last one is subunit. So one by one we are going to discuss it. One is first attenuated live virus, means half killed, like almost we are killed, but it is lively killed, half killed and half live. So that is called attenuated live virus. These are the weakened form of virus. They do not cause any illness. Like people might like get curious to know that if it is live inserted in the vaccine, it can cause some illness, but no. It is live attenuated virus that is inserted into the vaccine, weakened form. It does not cause any illness, but it will create immune and it will boost our immunity in the body. Example is very simple, MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. For these, vaccines are known as attenuated live virus. Also chickenpox vaccines, which is very common and highly used, so they come under which classification? Attenuated live virus. The second one is inactivated virus. This is that version of virus that has been killed. It is not live, it is killed. So example is polio virus vaccine, like polio drops that we all have used during our childhood. Third one is recombinant. So recombinant is genetically produced, like it is made in the lab. So these are those viruses that are made in the lab through genetic engineering. Oh, and the best example of this vaccine is HPV vaccine, or the vaccine that is used for cervical cancer. Fourth one is conjugate. So conjugate is it is a combination, like it is the bacteria and virus antigens that have a coating, sugar coating, mainly polysaccharide coating. Polysaccharide means a sugar like substance which protect it, and conjugate vaccine works around the disc used to recognize the bacteria, like it identify the bacteria and then it shows its action. So the example is HIB vaccine. So HIB vaccine, the full form of HIB vaccine is Haemophilus influenza type B vaccine. The second last is toxoid vaccine. It is also one of the major vaccine that is used nowadays. So inactivated version of bacterial toxins. So toxins present in the bacteria, when we inactivate that version of toxin, that is called toxoid. Okay, and that toxin are used to boost the immunity of individual. And the best example of these toxoid vaccine is tetanus and diphtheria vaccine. So the last one, which is subunit vaccine. Subunit vaccine is further categorized into three types. One is protein based, second one is polysaccharide based, and the third one is conjugated based. So subunit is uses only the antigens that stimulate the immune response. They are only going to use those antigens that stimulate or that exert the immune response and boost the immunity of the individual. The flu shot is the best example of the subunit type of vaccine. Further, it is categorized into three parts. I already dictated, that is protein based, in which there are proteins present, means we have isolated the proteins from pathogens. Example is hepatitis B. Second one is polysaccharide vaccine, in which it contains the chain of sugar, polysaccharide, sugar molecules, and that we contain from cell walls of some bacteria. Third one is conjugate vaccine, and they contains polysaccharide chains bound to carrier proteins such as diphtheria and tetanus toxoid to boost the immunity. Example is pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. These are some of the example of conjugate vaccine. Now coming to the another important topic, that is importance of vaccine safety. Already we know what is vaccine, we know the classification of vaccine. Now we are jumping into the another section, that is importance of the vaccine. vaccine is very important. There are several importance of vaccine safety that we need to keep in mind before taking it. First is a decrease in disease risk, because we are taking vaccine to boost the immunity, to make rid of any disease. And the second one is to improve the standards about safety against disease, to lower the risk of tolerance, to improve the public confidence to use the vaccine. If vaccine is safe to impart action, then public will automatically gain confidence and they will use vaccine more and more. Next one is to produce those vaccine which can produce low side effects and minimum to the minimum side effects. Then vaccination is safe and effective, and it should be. They should be safe, they should be effective, and they should exert proper action to the body. Then the next topic is vaccine pharmacovigilance, made up of two words. One is vaccine and the other one is pharmacovigilance. Vaccine we already know, and the vigilance is proper detection, assessment, understanding and communication of adverse events, side effects following immunization. After immunization, what are the side effects that are coming? Obviously, there will be certain side effects that are going to come in the body. It varies from person to person, individual to individual. They could be predictable and they could be unpredictable. They could be certain, they could be untoward. So what is the importance of pharmacovigilance study of vaccine? Why it is important? First is to monitor all the adverse events following immunization. It is very important to know the person who have taken the vaccine, what are the side effects that are exerting in his or her body, so that that side effect does not lead to create any threat to that individual's body. Second, to monitor all the aspects, all the factors which contribute in occurrence of adverse event following immunization. Third one is to provide better results with person safety by considering the person safety. Fourth one, to promote educational clinical training in pharmacovigilance. Next one, to give new proposals regaining the vaccine safety. The next one is to compile all new and old events related to adverse event following immunization. To provide a summarized feedback related to adverse event following immunization. To whom? To regulatory authorities, because that authority is going to work on that adverse event following immunization. To provide the beneficial information about the use of medicines and public health to the public through the newspaper articles, through the informative videos. So there is a proper goal of the vaccine pharmacovigilance. What is the objective and the goal of pharmacovigilance? The main goal of vaccine pharmacovigilance is early detection of the response to adverse event following immunization, so that we can minimize negative effects. There will be time, their negative side effects is going to come, but we need to minimize them. We are not saying that we need to just like eliminate them, but we need to control them. They will exert, they will come in the body, they will show in the body, but we need to minimize them. Next is there are certain elements that are required for conducting vaccine pharmacovigilance. So what are the elements that are used in conducting the vaccine pharmacovigilance? Vaccines are usually used for well health of the people, for the well health of the children. Second, vaccine may be administered to the vast majority of the population, or of a birth cohort, or the group of higher risk of disease complications. Then the age at the time of immunization may coincide with the emergence of age-related diseases. Next is some of the time of immunization may coincide with emergence of age-related diseases. Appropriate methods can be used for the detection, for the assessment of the serious AEFI, adverse event following immunization. Next is vaccine pharmacovigilance and vaccine regulations. So what are the criteria that we need to cover under vaccine pharmacovigilance and vaccine regulations. First is post-marketing surveillance, and one by one we are going to discuss the each. Post-marketing surveillance. The second one is system of relaxing a lot. Third one is laboratory cost or laboratory assess. Fourth one is marketing licensing. Fifth one is regulation or regulatory inspection, which is very important. Overview of clinical trials, which is very at most important. Then this regulation include all the pre as well as post registration factors which can influx on the vaccine and their effect. So one by one we are going to discuss the each criteria. Then is vaccine failure. What is vaccine failure? So it is defined a variety of endpoint criteria, example disease mitigation, immune response or disease preventions. So vaccine failure includes some of the points. How vaccine failure happens from individual to individual. The first point is vaccine failure, vaccine related and other factors. What are these criteria? First is vaccine failure. Vaccine failure could happen due to immunodeficiency. Second, it could happen due to age related response. Some of the individual, they do not have a good immune response. So in that case, vaccine failure automatically happens. There are age related response also, because in the old age people, there is very less action exerted by a vaccine, because there are several factors comes with the growing age, okay, because the organs started diminishing their action, so that could be the reason. Third is due to suboptimal immune response, like there is no optimum response your body is exerting towards that vaccine. Then next is due to other infectious agents. Maybe if you are taking the vaccine, there are some infectious agents that are present in your body. Then due to sub-health status, maybe there is some underlying disease in the body that also leads to the vaccine failure. And then last one is due to immunological interference. Next is vaccine related. Vaccine are not 100% efficient against antigens. So in some cases, incomplete coverage of strains, genotypes and escape mutants can cause vaccine preventable diseases. Other factors are usage issues, which is like prominent factor which leads to vaccine failure. Like people are not using vaccine in an appropriate way. They are using wrong route of administration for that. So first of all, usage issue. Usage issue means this include various steps related to administration of vaccines. Incomplete series of vaccines, like if doctor has recommended that you need to take 3 vaccine for a particular allergy XYZ, and people have not completed what? They have not completed the series of the vaccines. Like for example, me as a doctor, I have prescribed somebody 3 vaccine, 1 vaccine in 1 month, other vaccine in second month and the third vaccine in third month. But after taking one vaccine, people are people think that that vaccine has exerted certain action, now they are totally okay, but that's not. If the doctor, physician has prescribed you certain vaccines for certain time, you need to complete the duration. So you need to complete the series of the vaccine. If it is 3, you need to take 3. If it is 4, you need to take 4. Okay, you cannot incomplete the series of the vaccine. Ultimately, these will lead to vaccine failure. Second one is immunization program related issues. So what is this issue? These are various reasons which are related to vaccine failure. There are various cases come from which are related to incomplete vaccine, or some of them are related to the periods of the vaccines. So this is also the reason of vaccine failure. According to the guidelines by CIOMS, Central International Organization for Medical Sciences, these are specified condition of vaccination failure. What are they? They are categorized into three parts: confirmed clinical vaccine failure, suspected clinical vaccine failure, and confirmed immunological vaccine failure. First one is like they have confirmed that it is clinical vaccine failure. Second one is suspected. They have found out that it is suspected clinical vaccine failure. They are not sure. Third one is confirmed immunological vaccine failure. Then is what is AEFI, that I already dictated, also discussed also, that any unexpected medical occurrence which follows immunization. So after immunization, any untoward, any unexpected occurrence, medical occurrence is happening, that comes under this section called adverse event following immunization. So classification of these are, first is vaccine product related reaction, that comes in adverse event following immunization. Second is vaccine quality defect related reactions. Third one is immunization error related reactions, immunization anxiety related reactions, and fifth one is coincidental events. So these are the 5 classification of adverse event following immunization. So first is vaccine product related reaction. So this is defined as the adverse event following immunization which is caused by a vaccine due to their inherent property of the vaccine product. Second is quality defect related reaction, means the quality of the vaccine could be not that optimum or not to that mark, so that's why it leads to certain adverse events. Third one is immunization error related reaction. So this is caused by inappropriate and mishandling of vaccines, like handling of the vaccine is not properly done, so which leads to the immunization error related vaccine. It is also included their administration and prescribing of vaccine. Fourth one is immunization anxiety related vaccine, like some people have anxiety issue. When they take medicine, when they take vaccine in the form of medicines, what happens? That vaccine reacts with the anxiety and that leads to immunization anxiety related reaction, and in some cases anxiety enhances or anxiety happens to the patient who are taking the vaccine. 5 one is coincidental event, that comes by coincidence. Okay, so they are caused by other than vaccine product or vaccination error. So these are called coincidental event. So there are certain example of all the categories. One is vaccine product related reaction, in which the example is extensive limb swelling. Extensive limb swelling from DTP vaccination. This comes under vaccine product related reaction. Second is vaccine quality related reaction. In that the example is failure by manufacturer, because it is related to quality. So quality always implies with the manufacturer, because manufacturer is manufacturing the vaccine, he should consider the quality points, means degree of excellence should be maintained properly. So example is failure by the manufacturer to completely inactivate a lot of inactivated polio vaccines, which ultimately leads to paralytic polio. Third one is immunization error related reactions. So in this the example is very prominent, that is transmission by infection or transmission of infection by contaminated multi-dose vial. This is the very important example of the error related reaction, because in multi-dose vials, if everybody is using that, if somebody has infection, the transmission of infection can be caused by contaminated multi-dose vial. Fourth one is immunization anxiety related reaction. So in this the example is vasovagal syncope is an adolescent following vaccination. The last one is coincidental event, which comes by coincidence. So the example is the common one, a fever after vaccination can happen, like the Main example you can relate with Covishield. During COVID time, we had taken vaccines, okay, of different brands. So, like if I talk about myself, I had taken Covishield, and at that time fever occurred by coincidence. Fever, sore throat, body aches, these all were the coincidental events, and many people have faced this event. So that event, you can say now that that event was coincidental event. So how to detect, how to manage the AEFI? So first of all, if we want to manage the AEFI, first we need to detect the AEFI. So first is detection of AEFI. We need to detect the event. We need to detect the event where vaccine quality is suspected. Then we need to manage the event. After detection, we can manage it. So how we are going to manage it? Management of adverse event or the side effects of the vaccine or vaccine related to immunization is to ensuring clinical care management or those cares which are referred to the next level. To ensure the care management of AEFI and the referral cases, to ensure the availability of emergency drugs and medical services which is needed to deal with the adverse events. Like if any adverse event is occurring in the body, at that time we should have some emergency drugs that can deal with that and person can be well enough. Second is, third one is cluster AEFI. A cluster AEFI is a two, like cluster, a group, is a group of two or more cases of same adverse event related in time, place or vaccine administered. Then after detection, after management, what we are going to do is, the next is reporting of the AEFI, which is very mandate. So for the reporting of the AEFI, it is necessary and it is very important to differentiate the area of AEFIs. It needs the detailed information of all the serious events related to vaccine. So how we need to categorize the cases? According to serious, according to severe and according to minor. Minor, severe and serious. Which AEFI should be notified to health system? Because the three classifications are there: minor, severe, serious. So which adverse event following immunization should be notified to the health system? So these are some of them. So any adverse event following immunization that is of concern to the parents or to the healthcare workers should be notified. Like serious AEFI, which are serious one: death, hospitalization, cluster disability. Then signals and events associated with newly introduced vaccines. AEFI that may have been caused by immunization error. Significant events of unexplained cause occurring within 30 days after the vaccination. Events causing significant parental and community concern. And swelling, redness, these are some of the minor. So they are categorized according to that: minor, severe and serious. So minor is the common one, swelling, rashes, and the severe one, which is significant events of unexplained cause, and the lethal or serious one is death, hospitalization. So how we can report these? There are certain reporting forms and channels. First is case reporting form and the second one is case investigation form. So this is the case reporting form. Routing, timeline, action, everything is there. So this is the case reporting form starting from national level, which in which DC immunization comes, then state level where state immunization officer come, district level where district immunization officer comes, and then it goes to the medical officers. From that it goes to the health worker. Then AEFI is confirmed accordingly. Then is case investigation form. Again, they have subdivided into different zones like national zone, state zone, district zone, and then it goes to the medical officers and healthcare workers, and then after that the case or adverse event has been confirmed accordingly. Steps used for minimization of AEFI. First, how to minimize the AEFI. For that we need to use certain steps. First is only use one syringe at one time. One needle only one time. Second, acute disable syringe. We only need to use acute disable syringe. Third one is that dilutions can be made only with written guidelines. We cannot do dilutions according to our norms or our protocols. That should be done according to the guidelines, according to the protocols provided by the regulatory authorities. Fourth one is do not keep needle in a rubber cap of vaccine. This can cause serious side effect. The vaccine should be kept in cold storage or according to the storage condition. Whatever storage condition has been written in the vaccine, on the label of the vaccine, we need to store them according to that. Use separate site for each vaccine in patient. Example, vitamin A. For vitamin A, we use oral route. And for BCG injections, we use intradermal route, that is like through skin, through subcutaneous route it could be. For vitamin A can only be given through oral route, that cannot be given through the intradermal route. So every vaccine has different routes of administration. So according to that administration, we need to give vaccine. Thank you.